Hello, good morning, and welcome everyone to this webinar with the Spain US Chamber of Commerce and Inspiralia. It's a pleasure having you today. Today is the first webinar that we are hosting after a small break during August in the summer. And from now on, in the following weeks, we will also have some other interesting topics that we will address. So I encourage everyone to check our website, spainuschamber.org, where you could find the next topics that we will address. Today, we are going to discuss and understand a little bit more in depth how to finance innovative projects for specific programs that, in this case, the Department of Defense have open. And Inspiralia, which is a company expert on these things, will guide us through the whole process and how can we get this benefit and this financing for innovative projects. So before we begin, I would like to welcome Mériem Britel from Inspiralia that will be with us, and Artur Jarzabek that will be also with us. And in a moment, you will see them with their cameras. Here you are. Hello, Mériem. How are you?
Hi, Juan Carlos. I'm fine. Thank you.
Hi, Hello, Juan Carlos. Artur.
Welcome. So just a brief introduction about the company and yourselves. Inspiralia, it's a new product development company with headquarters in Miami, an international team of consultants helping startups with a wide range of services to launch their technology in the market. One of the main things they do is to help them with non-dilutive funding for their technology development, focusing on government instruments such as the SBIR program. Today, they will be introducing the AFWorks program, which belongs to the Department of Defense and has an interesting perspectives for any technological startup. With more than 10 years of professional experience working with startups, Mériem Britel is acting as account manager for Inspiralia in the US. She has previously been working in hundreds of successful R&D projects in Europe and Africa, and has a strategic vision of non-dilutive funding internationally. She will today be presenting how to become a defense provider accessing non-dilutive funding for the Air Force. With her, Artur Jarzabek, who is in charge of the writing coordination of the AFWorks projects at Inspiralia. He has an aeronautical engineering background and broad experience working tightly with clients to secure non-dilutive funding both in the US and Europe. He will share today his personal experience working with clients applying to the AFWorks program. And we had the opportunity to talk a little bit about these programs a few months ago, and it was a very interesting topic. And some companies could take advantage of this opportunity. So today we will see when are the deadlines. There are some deadlines, important deadlines that I know that you will talk about. So this webinar will be recorded as well, and we will share with all of you the presentation and the recording so that you could review it afterwards or share it with friends and colleagues. Also, at the end of the presentation, we will leave some minutes for questions. So if you have any question, please send it through the question option that you will see in your right side of the screen. There's a control panel, and you could click in questions and send your questions, and we will address all of them at the end of the presentation. Without further ado, Mériem and Artur, I'll leave you everything in your hands. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Juan Carlos, for the introduction. So as anticipated, the idea of this webinar is to introduce you an excellent tool for your product development. So the program is called Artworks. It belongs to the SBIR program. So I was wondering that if you know that the SBIR is the biggest source of non-dilutive funding for small businesses in the US. It has, in fact, more than $3.3 billion budget per year, and the Department of Defense is one of the biggest players with 1/3 of the budget. So today I'll be going through the program description and the program requirements, while my colleague Artur will share his personal experience working closely with companies that have been through this process with us. So let's jump to the next slide. So before entering into the program details, let's first review the eligibility requirements. So for you to be eligible to apply to this program, you must have a legal company created. It must be a small business with less than 500 employees. The company must have a physical address, so no virtual offices allowed. And the company must have at least one person, the project leader, which we call as well the principal investigator. This person must be employed by at least 51% of his time by the company. And again, what you should know about the eligibility requirement is that all the money received by this program must be spent in the US. And up to 1/3 of the budget can be used to subcontracting parties. So let's jump to see the program structure. So the biggest question is, what kind of project can fit this program? Basically, within this program, we will be expecting innovative technologies with a commercial value from a non-defense sector that can be used by an Air Force end user. That means that we will be expecting technologies that are close to markets, and also it also means that it does not only apply to military technologies, but is open to any sector. From our experience, we have seen all kinds of projects and as well companies applying and being successful in that. From, for example, medical devices to innovative solution for energy storage or new method to harvest and grow food in extreme environments. So then, what is the program structure and how do we apply? So I leave this section to my colleague Artur, who will give you more details on the requirement of each phase and how each phase works.
Okay, thank you, Mériem. So as Mériem said, you can apply with any technology to the Artworks. It's a completely bottom-up program, and the idea is that Artworks and the whole Air Force learns about all the technologies available on the market that they probably are not aware of, and they can pick the technologies they think that are aligned with the needs of the Air Force and the Department of Defense in general. So the phase one, you can treat it as a funnel. All the companies submit their proposals describing the best sides of their technology, and Artworks picks those proposals, those projects that they deem most suitable for the Air Force. Okay, so when you prepare a phase one proposal, you have to treat it like a teaser. You have to be very consistent, you have to be very punchy, you have to sell the best sides of your technology, and you have to also show that there is a need for your technology in the Air Force. So so that's what is the phase one about. As Mériem said, companies who have a commercial product, they can apply, and the whole process of applying for Artworks would mean that you would adapt your commercial technology to the military application. You can also be a company with a prototype technology that is still not on the market, but having something already proven in real environment. And then afterwards would sponsor R&D actions for bringing this technology, first of all, to the defense market and then to the civil market as well. So so when you win phase one, you and afterwards picks you basically, you will receive $50,000 to do a 3-month feasibility study. So during those 3 months, you will have the opportunity to liaise with many Air Force and DoD stakeholders, ask them questions, see if your technology really is needed within the military environment, and of course, in this whole process of looking for answers, you will possibly find an Air Force partner. This can be a base, this can be a wing, a squadron, that will be very happy to host you as a company to develop your technology at their site. So it is actually when you start thinking about phase two, you know what is needed. Basically, the Air Force partner can tell you that these are the requirements that they need a technological match for, and you start writing the scope of work. And this Air Force partner that you found, they sign an MOU with you. Basically, an MOU is a memorandum of understanding that gives an intention of the Air Force partner to participate in the project with you. So you prepare this phase two application together with the help of your Air Force partner, and you apply. And in this phase, you can actually compete for up to $1.5 million. And the maximum duration of this project is 27 months. This varies from one call to another. I mean, the whole process is a bit disrupted right now by the COVID situation, and what we see is about $750,000 of funding and projects of about 15 months. But this can change. So in the phase two, as you can see, you receive much more money than in phase one. And with this money, you can really do some R&D actions and validate, well, modify your product, adapt it to the needs of the Air Force, and validate it at your Air Force partner facilities. So once you finish your phase two, you move to the so-called phase three. And phase three, in phase three, you don't receive any SBIR money, because so far all the funding was governmental money to fund small business innovation and research. Right now in phase three, you are a proven contractor with the military, and you can go out, look for Air Force and military customers and directly sell your technology to them. Or you can also keep developing your technology as long as you can find funding for that. And there are quite a lot of possibilities for that, and a lot of doors open when you actually finish phase two. But the only thing you have to keep in mind, that the whole idea of this whole process is that you get to phase three and you start selling your technology, your equipment, to as many Air Force customers as possible, because otherwise investing all the money in your company is not beneficial for anybody. So this is more or less, in a nutshell, the whole AFWERX program and the whole point of it as well.
Okay, thank you, Artur. So now let's have a look at the timeline and calendar. What you should know is that the next due date and next opportunity will close on October 22nd. So we still have several weeks to prepare and be able to submit something for this last cutoff date of 2020. Once you submit your phase one application, you can expect to receive the evaluation of the phase one 2 to 3 weeks after that. That means that you could expect the results by the end of November. 6 weeks after submission, if the evaluation is positive, you should have already a contract signed and budget transferred by the Air Force, for you to start the phase 1 execution. Again, for the phase 1 execution, as explained by Artur previously, you will have 3 months to perform all the activities involved in the phase 1, which are to perform a small feasibility study, to shoot and produce a 100-second video of your technology and company, and to identify an AFWorks partner for the potential phase 2 execution, and secure with that AFWorks partner a memorandum of understanding. And finally, as well, within the phase 1 execution, you should prepare your phase 2 work plan and budgets. Meaning that you could potentially apply to phase 2 on February 2021. And in the best case scenario, if you are awarded with a positive evaluation, start your phase 2 execution with your $1 million contract in March 2021. So definitely it's a fast and effective way to boost your product launch with DoD as one of your first clients. Also, you should know that for 2021, we already know that we might have called open in February, May, and October 2021. So this is an ongoing program. So what's it like to go through that process with Inspiralia? So typically, everything starts with a project idea. We have to make sure that we have a clear concept and clear objective and goals that we need to accomplish as to the technology itself and as well as to the small business and company growth. Once we know that that potentially we have this idea, from Inspiralia, we will be performing a free validation of your project. So this is when we check the eligibility of the company, and as well we do a scanning of all the SBIR agencies to find the best fits for your idea. Bear in mind that within the SBIR world, your concept and project can fit several agencies at a time. So you can increase your chances of success and maximize your funding. At the end of the webinar, you will receive the presentation, and you can see here you have a direct link to go and perform the free validation of your project and free diagnostic of your company and idea. So once we've been through hopefully a positive validation with Inspiralia, we'll then be starting to work together. So it all starts with a kickoff meeting where a team of 3 persons will be committed to your project and will be working for you full-time for the application writing. So in the kickoff meeting, what we typically do from the Inspiralia side is that we see and assess what team members will be included in the application. We set the objectives of the application from the technical and commercial point of view, and we start looking for letters of support to strengthen the application. And as well as collecting as much information from you to build the story and be able to start the draft of the proposal. So, during the writing of the proposal, the writing will be done by the Inspiralia team's member, and the client will be able to review, comment, and approve the drafts before submission. Then, obviously, we will submit the proposal before October 22nd, and afterward, we will see if there's other ways to expand the project with a different scope to other agencies. So this is typically how it works to go through that process with us. Here are some success stories and some companies that have been through that process with us. They all have been working with Artur directly, so I'll let him share a bit of his experience of working with those companies.
Okay, thank you, Mériem. So When we were talking about a bottom-up program, this is truly a bottom-up program because you can have a diverse types of technologies that can apply for it. Here we have an example of only 3 companies that were successful with Inspiralia, and I hope that they will show you the diversity of possibilities that they are in front of you. So Rapid Assault Tools is a company that produces forced entry hydraulic kits, and these were primarily used by firefighters or police officers to make a forced entry. However, we found that the Air Force security forces, they need such a tool as well for any emergency situations, such as breaking the doors in the bases, because as we discovered, the bases, well, the personnel of those bases have a restricted access to several parts of those bases, and in emergency situations, it's literally impossible to find a person that has access to this door, and sometimes you have to breach them. So that's one of the applications that we were not aware of at the beginning of writing the project, but then we discovered it. There are many other obvious applications of this technology. So having a lightweight kit for special ops, and also in the civil market. And there are many applications of this technology in minery, and as I said, in fire department and police department, and in rescue, for example, when earthquakes happen or the hurricanes hit the land, you need such powerful kits that are lightweight. You can carry them. So it shows that you can have both a military application for such technology, but also what AFWERX is seeking is that you have an impact on the civil market as well. With Green Magic Homes, and this is a completely civil application that is used to build modular houses. Basically modules that are done in polymer materials, and they can be scaled up very easily. They are cheap to produce. So it's a great application for the military as well to set up temporary bases, to set up new constructions. And in fact, we were successful with this company, explaining that their technology can be applied for that kind of structures. But during the course of applying for phase 2, this company was also selected by the Rapid Sustainment Office of the Air Force, seeking a solution for hangars for aircrafts, mainly for maintenance and repair. So as a result of that, Green Magic Homes has secured a very high contract of above $1 million with the Rapid Sustainment Office, and right now they're in progress of developing this technology for those hangars. So this shows that although you apply with AFWERX, the information about your company circles around, and you can be picked up by any stakeholder within the Air Force, and they can offer you a chance to develop a project with them. Finally, we have Claim Detect. Claim Detect offers a technology for diagnosis and treatment of cervical pain. And in the times of COVID especially, having a diagnosis and treatment tool that can be used at home without the need of the doctor to come in is crucial. So this is an example of medical application, which is a very high demand in the Air Force, because many pilots, both fixed wing aircrafts and helicopters, have problems after their service with neck pain. So in this case, this technology was also successful with AFWERX, because they did find an application that is a necessity right now. So this is in a nutshell, just giving 3 examples, but I hope that during Q&A, we're going to have time to go maybe deeper into all the technologies that can apply.
Okay, thank you, Artur. So now let's see the kind of fee structure and also timeline that that we can use to be working together. So typically, Inspiralia always work on a hybrid fee model. That means that we usually charge an amount of money to start working with us and for our writing services at the beginning in phase one. So I would say that the phase one entrance fee is the risk that the client must assume to be working with us. So it will include all your registrations to be able to apply and really submit the application on their platform. It will as well include the writing of a new proposal from scratch, the calculation obviously of your budget, which in phase one cannot go beyond $50,000. And in case you are not successful at the first attempt, it should include as well a free of charge resubmission. So once the phase one is done and submitted, hopefully if we are successful, 3 weeks after, we will already know. You will start the phase one execution and you will be receiving your phase one grants. So upon that, we will be invoicing a commission on it. So based on our performance to do all the activities involved in the phase one execution. Again, as stated here, it will include obviously the kickoff meeting of the phase one execution, and Inspiralia will be preparing all the phase one execution deliverable, taking care as well of the phase two preparation, of the production of your video, which is led by the Inspiralia team, but obviously it's for the company and for the technology that we want to promote. And you will be receiving as well support and guidance to secure a memorandum of understanding for the potential phase two execution. So once everything is done, again, we will be submitting the phase two, and if we are successful, Inspiralia will invoice a small part of it to as a success fee, but as well as a project management fee, since we will be supervising the project execution and helping you out with all the reporting, particularly the financial reporting of the budgets and administrative reporting of the reports and communication that must be done throughout the whole life of the project. So before going straight to your question, I wanted to say a few words about Inspiralia. So Inspiralia headquarters in the US are in Miami, Florida. Our mother company is from Europe, and with headquarters in Madrid, and as well offices in Vienna and Cambridge. So both the mother company and Inspiralia, we pretend to offer all kinds of services around the new product developments, from public funding to technical delivery and assessment and introduction to any kind of partner that our client may need to be successful in their technology launch in the markets. So in total in Inspiralia, we have 160 people working worldwide with a global turnover of $25 million. 1/3 of our employees are PhD with a strong technical background, which help us to fully understand and capture our clients' needs, and as well add value to their activity and projects. So far we've managed to secure more than $600 million of public funding for our clients worldwide. And as I told you previously, we usually work on a hybrid fee model, majorly based on performance. So this was about the SBIR, and more particularly about the Artworks program. So thank you everybody for your time and for interest today. And now we are going to go to the question section. So let me see. Let me see the first. Let me see the first question. So how can I see if my company is eligible to apply? So basically, how can you figure out if your company is eligible to apply? So if you are to work with us, you can simply go onto our website and go through the validation questionnaire to make sure that you are a small business, that you are US majority owned, that you have at least one person of your team that can be committed to the project. I mean, it's an easy way, easy to do it through our validation questionnaire. You will very quickly figure out if you are eligible to apply. Then let me see if I have other questions available. What is the level of technology maturity that ArtWorks would expect? Maybe I can leave this question for you, Artur, and you can answer it.
Yeah, sure. So ArtWorks is looking for something that has been already proven. By the end of the project, they would ideally see this technology being applied within the military environment. So you can apply if you have a product that is in prototype level, or if you think as software development, it's the alpha version, or in terms of medical devices, you're just before the clinical trials. So this is deemed to be the TRL level of 6. So yeah, if you have something that is already proven, you can apply for it.
What kind of technologies project could be of ArtWorks interests? So basically, any kind of technologies from any sector where you believe your technology and product can be used by an ArtWorks stakeholder. So a wide range of possibilities is open to you, and again, you can check if your technology could be attractive to them by going through our validation questionnaire and go through our free diagnostic of your company and project. I may have another question for you, Artur, which is, how is the grant released, the cash flow during the project?
Okay, it's a good question. So it's these grants, well, those awards are not actually grants, they are contracts. So you are acting as a contractor with the military. So as a normal contractor, you invoice to them at a certain periods of time. With winning the phase 1, you usually have to invoice twice, at the beginning of the feasibility study, at the end of it. And then ArtWorks is paying out $30,000 at the beginning and $20,000 at the end, to sum up to $50,000. When you are in phase 2 and you win it, you will have to prepare for it a so-called schedule of milestones. Each milestone is going to be a deliverable. For example, you will say that at month 8th after the award was given to you, you will deliver, let's say, a prototype already enhanced, and this line will have a price tag on it of, let's say, $100,000. So once you deliver this to your Air Force partner, the Air Force partner will validate it, saying that yes, we agree, you have delivered it to us, and as soon as you do it, you will be able to invoice to the military the sum of $100,000, and it's going to be paid to you. So the schedule of milestones is a set of, let's say, 10, 15 milestones, each having a time of delivery and a price that you're basically going to receive when you invoice.
Thank you, Artur. So we have a last question. Is that can I have a copy of the presentation? Yes, of course. We will be sharing the presentation with everybody that registered to the webinar, and it will be done straight after the webinar finishes today. So you will be having it in your inbox today. And I think, let me review, but I think that we are done with the questions. So I hope it means that we've been clear. And
Mériem, excuse me, we have some other questions that
okay.
were sent to you. I'm going to read it to you. One of the questions is, will you register for us the codes into the SAM cage system?
Yes, this is something that we do at the very beginning. So when we start working with a client, we ask for some details of the company and we start all the registration process. So in fact, to be able to apply to any kind of public grant, usually you need a SAM, a DUNS, and CAGE code numbers. So those are 3 platforms, and it takes quite a bit of time to manage to get everything. But we manage all that process on behalf of the clients. So it's easier for them and they can concentrate only on the technical aspect of the project.
Good. The same person is asking, do we need to register into the GSA?
No, it is not necessary. The only thing that you need is those 3 things: DUNS, CAGE, and SAM code. And then if it is necessary, depending on the agency that you are applying to, maybe something specific to the agency. And in that case, obviously, we will let the client know and advise him that we have a 4th item to get before submission.
Great. And also another question from this gentleman, from Arturo Guevara. It's, how will you calculate your fees? What percentage will be?
About the exact about the fees, it's based on performance. So it is a portion of the grant that is being secured that will be invoiced according to our ability to be successful. No, in case we are successful, the client will be receiving a grant, and depending on the amount of grant that is being approved, we will adapt. The fees to the project. So I have to say that this is how we do. And then if the client, the company is interested in a diagnostic, obviously they can contact us. They have our contact details, and we'll be happy to have a more individualized approach of their project and company.
Great, thank you so much. And now I think we have the last question, but if you have some time left, so if anyone would like to send another question, we have some more minutes. But the last one that we got here is asking if it's an already validated and ready to market product would work.
Potentially, yes. So typically the kind of project that we can see is that you have an already existing product on the market, but you identify some additional needs or features that can improve your existing product. And as well, you identify a need within the Air Force. So as long as you see and you think that your product can be used and can add value to the Air Force in their daily work, you can submit a proposal and adapt your existing product to their specific needs. And this is why I would say that within the phase 2, you have to identify an AFWERX stakeholder and get a memorandum of understanding. It's because you will be performing the phase 2 with an AFWERX end user, and you will be working together according to the exact needs to customize your product for them.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Mériem. I think we don't have further questions. So, well, thank you so much, Mériem and Artur, for this presentation. I think it's been very helpful. I hope that some of our attendees today could benefit from this information and potentially could sell the products to the Department of Defense. Well, we have one quick question at the end. After the phase 3, the sales would go through your company or from us directly to DoD?
The sales of the product, obviously, it will go from the company to DoD.
Mhm.
Then it's a direct relationship that is being created with the company and DoD.
So to be clear, Inspiralia here, it's the tool to present in the best way possible this submission to get to be successful and to obtain it. But after all the other commercial relations and marketing will be directly through the company.
Exactly, exactly.
Perfect. Wonderful. Well, again, thank you very much, and thank you all the attendees for being with us today. As I reminded at the beginning, please check our website, spanuschamber.org, where you could see all our calendar events, everything that we have and we are preparing for these following weeks. I hope that we will see you again. And Mériem and Artur, thank you so much for sharing this information with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Juan Carlos. Thank you all.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Bye now.